When somebody doesn't smile or seem happy when you're around, maybe they don't greet you nicely or they just seem unhappy, that again could be a sign that they don't like you, that they don't want to be around you. So I think that the whole process that we're going through right now is for us to be aware of people. 10 ways to know people don't like you, secretly don't like you. Hey, what's up? It's Daniel Alonzo and welcome back. I want to congratulate you for watching this video while most people are just sleepwalking through life. Today we're going to talk about something that might be a little bit uncomfortable, but something that I think we all need to hear and really understand. I'm going to share with you the 10 ways to know when people secretly don't like you. And if you stick around, I'm gonna give you one bonus one at the end. So number one, they don't make eye contact with you. Eye contact is a sign of respect. I mean, I think everybody knows that when you're looking somebody in the eye and you're having a conversation with them, it shows respect. And avoid making that eye contact. It could mean lack of respect, or it could be, that maybe they're just nervous around you, or they just don't like you somehow, and secretly they want to get out of your presence as quickly as possible. So they're kind of avoiding, they're looking around, what am I going to do next? Who am I going to go hang out with next? Because I don't like this guy and I don't want to be around this guy. And so when people don't want to be around you, at least you're able to eliminate that relationship. Okay, in my business forever, I've had to deal with lots and lots of people, and there's a lot of people that I want to cut the relationship with. And by the way, there's a lot of people that didn't want a relationship with me either. There's a lot of people, I'm sure even to this day, there are people that don't want to hang around with me. They don't want to be around me. They don't like my company. That's okay, because there are people that do like your company, that want to be around you, that respect you, that think you're somebody special. So don't worry about the people that secretly don't like you. Just the whole purpose of this video is for you to understand it so you can identify those little secret things that they're doing, and you can get kind of cued off to those issues and challenges that they might have with you. And you can just cut them, man. I mean, there's no point in making somebody like you, or making somebody respect you, or making somebody want to have a relationship with you. That is like the worst, right? You don't ever want anybody to be forced to like you. So if you're able to know when they don't like you, this is when you're able to kind of cut the relationship off a little bit faster. Number two, they don't engage in conversation with you. If somebody avoids talking to you, maybe they just seem disinterested in what you have to say. It could be a sign. Maybe they just don't like you. They're just disinterested in what you're trying to say, or what conversation you're trying to have with them. If they seem disinterested, move on as quickly as possible. Get out of there as quickly as possible. And go have a relationship and go have a conversation with somebody that does like you. If this person is showing you disrespect, you got to be confident enough. I think one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video is because I want you all to understand that you are special. Okay, you are an important person. Just by you being you, you're important, and it's okay that somebody might not like you. It's okay that they might be disinterested in you. And I mean, I think it's rude. I try to be interested in people. I try to connect with people. I try to actively listen to them. I try to look them in the eye. And I try my best to connect, relationships with people and build relationships with people. I'm always thinking about how can I better build this relationship with this person. But if they seem disinterested, there's nothing that you can do. You gotta move on as quickly as possible. So when you're trying to have a conversation with somebody and they completely blow you off, again, have some like dignity in yourself. Have some respect for yourself, and go talk to somebody else. Go try to engage in a conversation with someone else. And by the way, just so you know, if everybody is disinterested in what you're talking about, maybe you need to change up your conversation. Maybe you need to add a little bit of humor in your conversation. Maybe you need to look less needy. I think this is a big challenge with a lot of people. They're very needy. And so look a little bit less needy, and maybe the connection will flow. I think it's kind of like that whole thing I've been talking a lot about lately, and I've been trying to add this as a benefit in my life. It's letting go. So let it go. And what's amazing when you let something go, kind of tends to try to get near you. It's like if you're a little disinterested in somebody, like if you're disinterested in them, sometimes they want to build that relationship even more. And so remember that it goes both ways. Sometimes you're disinterested in somebody else, and that might even attract them to you, believe it or not. But at the same time, don't force anybody to like you. Don't if somebody's disrespectful or they're not paying attention to you, they're trying to blow you off, move on, man. You got better things to do. So number 3, if they don't invite you to different events or activities, or just want to hang out in a group of people, it could be a sign that they just don't want you around. And so I think when that happens, maybe you need to look inside yourself and say, okay, why is it that nobody asks me to go do something? Why is it that nobody invites me anywhere? And if this is the case, if this is kind of happening to you a lot, then look deep down inside yourself and say, okay, why is this happening? And if it's happening over and over and over again, then could it be you? Could it be the fact that maybe you smell? Or could it be the fact that you don't dress well? Could it be the fact that you're just not a fun person to be around? Maybe you're not exciting to be around. Maybe you're always kind of negative a little bit. I notice people that, if I'm, having a party or I want to throw a get together or something like that, usually you don't want the negative people there. The people that are just down in the dumps and they're not happy with their life and they're always complaining and upset about something. These people are not people that are going to get a lot of invitations. So people might be disinterested in you because you're just not happy, man. So try to turn it around, right? Just think in your mind positive things. Ask other people questions, try to find out about people instead of maybe just talking only about yourself. Try to find out, be inquisitive. One of the best things about me having a podcast is the fact that I got to ask a lot of questions. Like, I've interviewed over 200 people. So I've gotten to ask a lot of questions to a lot of people. So when I'm in a group setting, I'm pretty good at building relationships and making new friends because I'll ask them about them. I want to know about these people and I want to know what's important to them. I want to hear their stories. I want to know where they're from. I want to know where they work. I want to know what they love about where they live or whatever. I'm always very inquisitive in the people that I'm meeting, and it tends to get them to like me a little bit more. So kind of keep that in mind. If you're not getting invited places, maybe you're just like one of those negative people and maybe just people don't want you around. Number 4, if people don't respond to your messages or calls, if someone consistently ignores your messages or calls, that could be a sign that they're just not interested in talking to you. And so remember that. I always used to, when somebody would ignore my calls or whatever, I would say, look, I'm a big boy. I can handle it. If you're too busy right now, if you have too much to do, if you can't get involved right now or meet with me right now, is there a better time or a better place that we can meet? Maybe, is it okay if I follow up with you in a couple of months? So if you're dealing with a client, maybe can I just follow up with you? Maybe get together with you another time. This is just another way of somebody blowing you off. So sometimes you got to go straight line, and you need to be direct with them. Like, look, I just had one of my agents, he had somebody just blowing him off all the time. And the guy would say, yeah, I'm interested, ask him all these questions. And my agent, he kept just telling him, this is important, you need it, here's the quote, all this kind of stuff. And instead, just straight line it. Like after enough times that somebody blows you off, just be direct. And so I told my agent, I said, do this. When you text him, say to him directly, do you want life insurance to protect your family? Yes or no? Just like that. And believe it or not, because the guy, it was just an alternate choice, right? Yes or no. You got two choices. The guy said yes. And he said, wonderful, here's the information I need, send it to me right now. So he took control of the conversation by what? By asking a question. Now, if somebody continues to ignore your messages and it just means they're not interested. Move on as quickly as possible. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I made in business is I followed up with the same people, some of the most wrong people, over and over and over again. And so what happened is I wasted, months and years of my life trying to get somebody to do something that they really didn't want to do. So if somebody ignores you for so long, move on. I mean, if the timing's not right for them, or again, be direct. Like, say they're a friend, because I know one of my agents that I'm talking about that story, this was one of his friends. So sometimes you got to be so direct and just like tell your friend, is this something that you want to do? Yes or no? And if he keeps blowing you off, you're like, okay, are you not my friend? I mean, do you care about me? Do you love me? Do you want to, have a relationship with me? Be direct with it. And if they continue to blow you off, then you just know that they're not really your friend. That's what I told my agent. I'm like, because he's like, yeah, really good friend of mine. Well, he's not a very good friend of yours if he keeps blowing you off. Because good friends or people that love you and care about you, if you're direct with them, they'll get it. They'll understand that this is kind of like hurting the relationship if they continue their bad behavior towards you, that you're going to cut them off. And if they really love you, they're not going to want to be cut off by you. So be brave, be bold, and be direct, in those situations. Number 5, if they avoid physical contact with you, right? If somebody avoids you or seems uncomfortable, with physical contact, it's kind of a sign, I mean, if you try to hug somebody and they're like, I don't want to hug you. I don't know, maybe. I know some people don't like hugs, and I know some people, are just not into hugging. But if they absolutely don't want to shake your hand, or they're not friendly at all, I mean, if they seem uncomfortable around you, you got to give them their space, man. Like, that's one thing that I never want to make anybody uncomfortable with my physical touch, right? I don't want to try to hug somebody that doesn't want to be hugged. I don't want to, get close to somebody. And by the way, one of the biggest turnoffs, I think, in anybody is when they try to get too close to you in your face. Especially if you just smoked a cigarette or you just drank coffee. It is one of the most disgusting things that you can do. So don't do that, okay? When you're with somebody, please, please, please give yourself a little bit of distance between them. Because what happens, at least for me, is some people, they'll get way too close to me. They'll breathe on me and it's like a nasty breath, or I can smell their armpits or something like that. It's just uncomfortable, right? Nobody wants that. And so what happens is that I don't want to be around that person anymore, because it makes me feel uncomfortable for them to be near me. So this is, again, I did a video on staying, being, cleanly and putting on cologne and making sure you do deodorant. And by the way, I learned something the other day that's kind of interesting. This guy was talking about how he doesn't wear deodorant, but because he eats so healthy and he eats so many good things in his body, like a lot of greens and a lot of, really, and of course he drinks so much water and everything. He doesn't, because he doesn't stink. Usually you stink because of the foods that you eat or the things that you drink, right? You're drinking a gallon of coffee in the morning, you go and then you smoke a cigarette, and then you ran 3 miles and you didn't go take a shower. Like, I got to take a shower, man, all the time. Like, if I go working out at the gym, I got to come back and take a shower. I can't go to the gym and then go to work, man. There's just no way. Always got to take a shower after I do something physical. So think about that, and because again, people might be avoiding you because you smell, or you just are making them uncomfortable because you're getting too close. Number 6, when somebody doesn't smile or seem happy when you're around, maybe they don't greet you nicely, or they just seem unhappy. That again could be a sign that they don't like you, that they don't want to be around you. So I think that the whole process that we're going through right now is for us to be aware of people, and not just understand when somebody doesn't like you or somebody doesn't want to be around you. Just remove yourself from their presence, because they don't deserve you. I mean, at least in this point in their life, they don't deserve you, because you're a valuable human being. If somebody doesn't treat you warmly, or they're not happy to see you, or they don't smile, or they don't want to be around you, that's okay. You don't have to make everybody happy. You don't have to be around everybody. Some people just are not going to like you, and some people are going to love you. Some people are going to be excited when you're around. It's okay. Some people aren't going to like you. Some people don't want to be around you. Move on. Number 7, this is kind of a hard pill to swallow, but when somebody talks behind your back, right? You hear from other people, they've been talking about about you, and obviously that's a clear sign that they don't like you. And it's better for you to know when they don't like you, so that you can cut that relationship. And just so you know, if you're one of those people talking behind other people's backs, you're not a good person, okay? Gossipers, you're not a good person. If you're gossiping about people all the time and saying things behind people's backs, and they have no way to defend themselves. I mean, sometimes we talk about other people in a bad way, in a negative way, and remember, it could make you look bad, right? So you think that you're looking good because you're talking about somebody behind their back, but the truth is you kind of look like shit, right? You look like the bad person. The person that you're telling it to, they're thinking, well, shit, if they're doing it to this other person, they're probably doing it to me too. So yeah, we get the sign, and if somebody's doing it, obviously they don't like you, but I think the lesson here is we need to stop doing that shit, right? I mean, we got to be good people that say nice things, like edify people. One of the things that make you look good in front of your peers and in front of groups and in front of your colleagues is edification. So I'm always trying to push people up. I'm always trying to look for something good to say about somebody. If I notice their teeth are nice, I always tell them, like, oh my God, you have such great teeth. You have such a wonderful, wonderful smile. Or maybe they have good hair or something like that. Wow, your hair looks amazing. Or maybe I saw that they just got it done or something like that. I might say, wow, did you just get your hair done? It looks unbelievable. You look so beautiful. I love that color, blah, 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 whatever. Or somebody has a nice dress on, or even a guy told me the other day, it was on Easter, and a guy was like, dude, I mean, he told me like 2 or 3 times. He's like, man, I love your cardigan. I had like a kind of a cardigan type sweater on. And he's like, man, I love it. It's awesome. Where did you get it? And blah, blah, blah. And it's like, how do you not like that person, right? I mean, think about it. And so ask yourself, are you doing these things to other people? Or are you just like grumpy all the time? Are you mad all the time? Are you mean all the time? Or are you saying to people like, I'm always trying to say nice things to my kids, and I always tell my son, I'm like, man, dude, you have great hair, man. My daughter, you're so awesome at soccer, and I'm really proud of you, and you're so freaking smart, and you're so tough, and you're so amazing. Like, I love saying cool things about my kids. I mean, look at my business. I mean, I love pushing people up. I love to find something good about somebody. When somebody does a great job, I'll throw them a bunch of, I'll throw them a little fist pump, or I'll throw them a couple of lightning bolts or something like that, or I'll just put a heart, man. I love it, man. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you. You're such a freaking winner, man. I mean, you're going to be a giant in this business. And so it's very difficult to not like people that do that to you. So you're going to have less people talk behind your back if you're one of those people that just always is trying to be good to people, and pushing people up is the best and easiest way to make more friends and to build more awesome relationships. I don't know about you, but number 8, people that make excuses, are not the most liked people. So I think if people are constantly giving you excuses, they're not wanting to spend time with you. They're consistently making excuses to avoid hanging out with you. It's a sign that they don't want to be around you. But just remember, that person that's making excuses, they're not a good person. You don't want to be around people that make a lot of excuses. I mean, the excuse making is probably the worst trait you can have as a human being. Look, when you're wrong, say you're wrong. When when you messed up, say you messed up. Like, it's quickly, and it's called quickly and emphatically. And what that means is quickly with sincerity. So when you make a mistake, own up as quickly as you possibly can. People are going to like you more when you do that. People will respect you more when you do that. And so don't be afraid to say, look, I mean, I made a mistake. I screwed up. People will respect you more for doing that. But I mean, if somebody's making excuses, man, every time, like, I got to wash my hair, trying to go out with a friend or something like that. Like, I got to wash my hair tonight. And every week they want to wash their hair. Okay, that's a problem. Okay. I mean, it's not something that they're not excited to be around you. Number 9, when somebody's always putting you down, when they're always criticizing you, it's a clear sign that they don't like you. They don't want to be around you. Okay? So kind of keep your eyes peeled to people like that. I'm not saying that you're never going to get criticized. And I'm not saying when somebody gives you constructive criticism, it means they don't like you. I mean, of course. Matter of fact, I mean, I think that when you give somebody constructive criticism, it means you like them even more. Because especially like if you have a coach or a mentor or something like that, I mean, if they're somebody that they might be like pushing you hard, it actually means that they love you and care about you a lot. They want to see you win. And by the way, they believe that you have the talent and the ability to do something great in your life. And so just remember that when somebody criticizes you all the time, but maybe they're not your coach, maybe they're just like kind of like a hater, they don't like you. They don't want to be around you. Now, by the way, just so you know, I mean, haters, sometimes if we really break down a hater, you'll find that a lot of these haters they're just jealous of you, man. They're not willing to go through what you went through to have your success. So they're just hating on you. And so they'll find ways to say bad things about you. Oh, you messed up a word, or I didn't like that video, and that looks stupid, or I can't believe you said that. If somebody's always doing it, they don't like you, but maybe they probably envy you a little bit. That could be a possibility. So, but let's turn it around a little bit, and let's just get reminded that if you're out there always criticizing people, always hating on people, remember, people sometimes they don't say nothing, man. They just go away. They're like, I don't want to be around this person, man. They don't make me feel good at all. I mean, they never say anything nice to me. I tell you, I mean, there's a coach that I know that, man, he is just like 95% criticizing and like 5% saying a good job. If I was to advise him, I would say, like, if he was watching this right now, I would say, look, try to get it a little bit closer to 50-50. I get it. You got to criticize your kids. You got to push them. You got to keep them moving, because I do think it is motivating sometimes when somebody's telling you what to do and they're pushing you hard. But you also got to have positive reinforcement. I mean, because otherwise, man, you're just going to be hated. And that's not cool either. And ultimately, if you're building a team, if you're building an organization, you don't want all your people to hate you. You hopefully have some people that respect you and love you because you push them, but at the same time, they respect you and love you as well because you make them feel good and you've said a lot of nice things about them for a long, long time. Number 10, so on the flip side of that, if you're always getting fake compliments, I don't know, insincere, that might be a sign. So kind of look out for that. I mean, sometimes it's hard to figure that part out, because if somebody's giving you a compliment and you feel good about it and you feel good about yourself, you might just take the compliment and run. But man, if somebody's like insincere about it, or telling you stuff that you kind of know is not true, and it's kind of bullshit, then you need to maybe look at that relationship that you have with that person. If they're just telling you stuff that is just trying to make you feel good versus an actual compliment, like, man, your smile is amazing, your smile is great. But if you have a clown face on, or you have red paint all over you, or you have lipstick all over your mouth, and they give you that's insincere. Your face doesn't look good right now. So maybe, just maybe, that might be a sign they don't like you too much. Oh, by the way, if you like somebody and they have something in their teeth, you should tell them they have something in their teeth. Never be afraid to tell somebody you love and care about, hey, you have something in your teeth. Hey, you have something on your shirt. Hey, you have something in your hair. That's actually a sign that they care about you, that they want to help you. They're not trying to criticize you. They're not trying to make you look bad. It's actually a really, really good sign that they love and care about you and want to see the best for you. And here's your bonus. Thank you so much for sticking around. Number 11, your bonus one, they don't take your feelings into consideration. If somebody constantly ignores your feelings or disregards your needs, it's just a sign they don't care about you. And so kind of keep your eyes peeled for people like that, because you want to avoid them. Once you find out that somebody really doesn't care about you, they're ignoring you, they disrespect you, they don't really show you the love and the dignity and the respect that you deserve, then you have to move past that relationship as quickly as possible. Because remember, there's I'm talking just in California, there's 40 million people. So in the United States, there's over 300 million people. In Canada, I don't know, another 50 million or something like that. I don't know how many in Canada, but anyways, there's a lot of people everywhere. If this one relationship doesn't work out, or this one person doesn't like you, it's okay. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of relationships that, by the way, it's kind of interesting, because when I went into business at 21, one of the first things I did was I cut off a lot of relationships with people. I mean, I just stopped calling them. I just stopped going out with them. I stopped, really, I know looking back, maybe it was mean, or maybe it was just not a nice thing to do. But looking back, I was, I'm kind of proud that I did it, because it was hard for me to do that. But I did it because I knew I had a better life waiting for me. And yes, I lost some relationships being in business. There's no question about it. But what's interesting is that I have so many thousands and thousands of more relationships now, because I went into business, I stayed in business, and I went out and became successful in business. I could sleep on anybody's couch, seriously, in all of the United States and Canada, probably find somebody's couch to sleep on. Hey, in New York, I know people in New York. Hey, Florida, I know Chicago, I know Idaho, I know Las Vegas, I know Vancouver. I got friends, I got Utah, I got so many friends that I can call them up and go, hey, look, I need to sleep on your couch. And they'd be like, come on over and I'm gonna buy you dinner that night. And those are the type of relationships and friendships that you're gonna make through the years. And especially if you decide to become successful, you wanna hang out with other successful people. So sometimes when you're young and your buddies and friends want to do stupid shit, they want to party all night long, smoke a bunch of pot, drink a lot, whatever. Like, I wanted to distance myself from that shit so fast. I didn't want to be around it. And so that's a big reason why I got away. Some of those people that I knew in high school, they still smoke pot today. I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, that's so ridiculous. I mean, I don't want to lose brain cells, you know. I mean, I'm not interested in not being coherent. And so, I want to be a winner, man. I want to be a champion. I want to do great things. I want to have energy and focus and determination, man. I want to go kill it out there. And so that's the attitude that you want to have. Not the attitude of, oh yeah, let's go hang out with the wrong people. Let's go get stoned. Let's go get, seriously, it's just not good. It's not good. You got to wake up. This is your time to shine in your life. So wake up and go get it done. So there you have it. The 11 ways to know when people secretly don't like you. I know this might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it's important to recognize the signs so that you could move on and surround yourself, like we were talking earlier. Just surround yourself around the good people, the people that love you and care about you and want to be around you. And if you've made it this far, please write in the comments wealth. It would mean a lot to me to see the true champions that come back week after week after week. And I really want to get to know you. Please comment wealth and comment anything about this video that you liked or didn't like. You agree with me, don't disagree, or you agree with me, disagree with me, whatever it is, I don't care. If you have a bad comment to leave on the comments, go for it, man. If you think I'm full of shit and you don't believe anything I said, okay, just leave a comment about it. Tell me about it so we can have a little bit of back and forth and maybe get to know each other. Maybe I can explain a little bit more. Maybe you can explain some stuff to me. Maybe I got something wrong. Tell me where I got something wrong so we can have a conversation. And of course, if you found this video helpful, please hit the button, the subscribe button and the like button for my channel. If obviously if you like content like this, just feel free to, like I said, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts, and don't forget to check out my coaching program, Wealth on the Beach Club. And then also I have a brand new book out called Wealth on the Beach. My audiobook is posting real soon, so make sure you check that out. And I'd love to hear your comments about my audiobook, because it's the first time I've ever put out an audiobook. So I want your comments and your thoughts of how you think I did in the audiobook. And by the way, if you go onto audible.com, you should get a free audiobook with audible.com. And we're gonna post that link of how you can get my audiobook on Audible. We'll post that down in the description below. And as always, continue to dream bigger, get after it, but most importantly, do it now. God bless you. We'll see you at the top.